Ooh,
That's,
okay.
I mean, it's controversial, sure. Like, why would you pick that first? Like, that's kind of insane. But I think it's just such a, you can just sit there and bop your head to it. It's just a fun song. And I love that, towards the end of the movie, this song is played. And I remember listening to it because I just watched Batman again recently. And I was kind of playing through my head, like, this sounds a lot like the Batman song, like Trust from Batman. I don't know if you've listened to the two back to back.
I have not. I'm going to now. Not now, but I will.
But yeah, if you listen to them back to back, you're like, oh man, these are both good. But I love that song. So I was like, you know what? I just want something I love to kick off my album. Like this album, this comes on number 1 on my album. It's just going to put me in a good mood. And I will stay in a good mood. Because I'm thinking about Batman. I'm thinking about Trust. I'm thinking about the movie. It's very optimistic. I mean, it fits well with the movie. It's almost like the Lose Yourself song. No.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like,
yeah,
baby,
that's fitting.
I'm a star. Like he was after that song, after he learned to work with his band, Baby, I'm a Star. So yeah, I'm taking that. Baby, I'm a Star, number 1.
And
me.
you know what? That's a really great pick too, because I defy you to listen to that song without moving a part of your body. There's no way you can't just up and dance to the entirety of that song. It's not one of those, yeah, it's a head nodder, it's a foot tapper, but you're going to be dancing your entire body several times over listening to this tune.
So I was sitting on my couch and I was supposed to be doing other work while listening, and I was just sitting there nodding my head, man. I did no work for the entirety of the song, so I was just sitting there going, yeah. Like I was just really enjoying myself. So it's that emotion. It's like this is a good way for me to kick this off. So I'm taking Baby, I'm a Star.
Hell of a pick.
All right, what you taking from Tron?
From Tron, there's a song I really want to pick, but I know it's a favorite of yours, so I'm going to be a gentleman.
Take it.
No. I'm picking The Son of Flynn.
Oh, yeah.
The reason I'm picking this song, I love a good arpeggio. Anything it's like do 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 do. If it's going up and down like that, I'm going to listen to it several times over. There is something so simple about this song, but so uplifting at the same time. This is like Dark Knight level-esque uplifting and building you up to take you to this next level, this next plateau, just the next step. It doesn't get crazy. It doesn't blow up. It doesn't turn into this big like sledgehammer to your face. It's a gradual, slow increase and like a little bit of like confidence kind of thing. And I really like that about that song. Not every song has to have this big build up and explosion. It's great. Don't get me wrong. But the subtlety of this and how it adds layers and continues, I really, really like it and appreciate it. And it's, what is it, like a minute and a half? It comes in at a minute and 35. And it's one of those songs where you're like, wait, it's over already? And you go back and listen to it and listen to it and listen to it and listen to it. Like it's such a great gem of a song.
Oh, I love it. Son of Flynn's great. And I mean, 90 seconds, you'll never get sick of it. You can just play it on repeat over and over and over again. It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm not going to pick what you think I'm going to pick. Because today I was listening to the soundtrack again, and every time I've listened to the soundtrack, I play it all the way through. For me, it's an all the way througher. But I've never really appreciated this song until today. And I am going to take Disc Wars from this. Now, when you go through all the best of lists, and hey, what songs from this do you recommend? There's a lot of people out there who, Son of Flynn, The Grid. I guess we'll talk about the other songs later on. The end titles, all that. But what I like about Disc Wars is how it builds. It really builds to something special. Like, I love what in Requiem for a Dream, what Clint Mansell's, what is it?
Lux Eterna?
Yeah, Lux Eterna, how it builds. I like songs that, like, remember what Promontory from Last of the Mohicans, how that builds. This is, I love this song. It's what Run by Snow Patrol, the way that song builds to its guitar solo and sweeping. Yeah. I love it. And so while listening to Disc Wars, I really like that it builds to something special. And for me, I like those kind of songs because you have to give it your all. You have to sit there and listen to it as it builds. And even the song Madness by Muse, I keep bringing that up. I love how Madness builds as well. But I think you have to like give yourself over to the song. and you have to sit there and just embrace it and sit in it and enjoy it. And so Disc Wars for me is my first pick because I love how it builds to something really kind of special. So I'm taking that. That's my
and that I was gonna say that's a great pick. The way that back half of the song, the way it's able to mix the electronic and the strings together. A lot of songs, when they try to do that, it becomes distracting. One tries to outdo the other. It doesn't really blend well. And one thing that Daft Punk really did well with this whole album, but specifically this song too, is that blend. Like nothing stands out, nothing's awkward. It just works together. And I guess it's that idea of like, analog and digital coming together. The original Tron and the new generation coming together. So that's a fantastic pick.
And you know what I like? I feel like it was a very inspired idea to bring on Daft Punk for Tron because prior to this album, they definitely had, like harder, faster, stronger, like harder, faster.
Sure.
Like they had that like kind of robotic thing that they sampled with. And so I kind of dig that they brought them into this world and then they also gave them an orchestra. So it's like 85-piece orchestra on this. But yeah, I love score. I just love on soundtracks when something builds, and I feel like this one builds and it's something special. So that's what my first pick is.
I'm sorry. Did you say 85-piece orchestra?
Yeah. So they had. So yeah, yeah. The Scoretron Legacy features an 85-piece orchestra. So they recorded it in Lyndhurst Studios in London, and then they and the state of the score was intended to be a mixture of orchestral and electronic music. So Daft Punk's score was arranged and orchestrated, and then he worked with other people. So they collaborated and they kind of worked on it. And then the orchestra was conducted by Gavin Greenway, and so they kind of all combined to make some cool stuff.
85. I genuinely would have thought you get a couple violins and kind of layer the parts together to create this big sweeping thing. But that makes me so much happier to hear something like that. Like they're really, obviously it's a Disney film. You're going to have Disney money to do that. But to bring Tron back out of nowhere and to really do it right, especially with the score, that means so much more. That I'm very happy with that. I got a big smile on my face right now.
Well, it's so good. It's and you feel that in this song too. So that's my Disc Wars. Oh gosh. So who's your second Purple Rain song? What is your second?
Second Purple Rain song is Darling Nikki.
Whoa! You got a parental advisory on this.
Yeah, just a little bit. I love a good story song. I think songs that tell a story in them are some of the best songs out there, some of the most timeless songs. The story they tell with Darling Nikki, again, little parental advisory to it. But it's a really interesting. It's a little bit darker. It's a little more sexual, a little more sensual. If they were playing the song, obviously they do in the film. But when you listen to the song, you immediately think of the room is bathed in red light. You get this immediate feeling when listening to it. But also from a technical and production standpoint, all of a sudden it delves into this rainstorm and it features backmasking. Now, I never knew what backmasking was. When I was really younger, I had first heard it on Pink Floyd's The Wall when they did the song Empty Spaces. And then I'm like, oh, this is really fascinating. It's the idea where they're playing something in reverse and you don't know what they're saying unless you were to take the recording and find a way to kind of reverse it in order to play it forward. And they do that with Darling Nikki. And I've read it once or twice what it was. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's something about hi, how are you? I'm good. I'm doing even better because I'm, going to ascend and go higher to the Lord and everything like that. And I'm like, Prince has always walked that line. And there's such a dichotomy with his work about how he can have stuff that's very primal and sexual and that kind of thing. But then there's also this very massive religious component to it. And I always found that interesting. So to have that kind of tag at the end of this song and especially backmasking it like that, is if they do it in Baby I'm a Star towards the end. I think Wendy has a little bit of masking in there too, but this one is much more prominent and it's jarring too because you're like, okay, rainstorm, and it comes out of nowhere and you're just like, what is happening? But I just dig it. I really dig it.
Oh, I love that you picked this song too. We're going for it on this.
We are.
Yeah, I guess you and I, we don't really pick I'm not saying super obvious. I think we like to to take some funky picks. But these are all good songs. That's just fun.
Yeah,
And Tipper Gore hated this song, which I love.
It's all subjective. It's not for everybody. I feel like this song is for most people because it is a fantastic song. But I can understand, like, from a content standpoint, like, you know, maybe we're not going to play this in middle school, but maybe like a senior in high school is going to get down to the song. Get down as in enjoy the song for what it is, not any other kind of connotation.
And it goes with the movie so well too. You know, you just have
really
that scene
does.
that goes on there, and he's up on the speaker.
Yeah.
Like they tied it all really well together. Oh man. Okay, so you have Darling Nikki. All right, so man, people are gonna be annoyed. What do I want to take here? What do I want to? There's some very obvious one. You know what? I'm just gonna take Computer Blue.
Ooh.
Because that's a funky song.
Good one.
It's a funky song. You got some good synth in there, some good bass lines, like some good guitar solos, a lot of yaz. It's, yeah, I dig it. I love it. I like Computer Blue a lot. It made me very happy listening to it, and I was jamming out to it like most of today. Like that's the song I kept wanting to listen to. So I'm gonna take, because you know why? Maybe I just haven't explored it as much as the other songs. Because, I mean, Purple Rain and When Doves Cry have been around for, I mean, a lot of the songs, but this one just kind of felt real fresh to me today, so it's fresh on my memory, so I'm taking Computer Blue. I gotta do it.
What's great about that song, too, is it's so different. The structure. It's this weird, like, it's not your standard, like, kind of riff, and nor is it in, like, a normal kind of key, right? It's just very different, bizarre. And then you have Prince kind of making that guitar talk like that, and it employs all of these different facets, and I really, really like that. That's a fantastic pick, dude.
It's just something different. It's a little bit of an outlier. I appreciate it, so I'm taking that song, Computer Blue. We have some good songs here, by the way. So you have
we do.
You have Let's Go Crazy, Son of Flynn, Darling Nikki, I Have Baby I'm a Star, Disc Wars, and Computer Blue. What's your Tron pick?
My Tron pick, this one kind of snuck up on me today when I was listening to it. When it comes to film soundtracks, that's something I listen to more at my desk to keep me kind of focused on what I'm working on. Whereas something like Purple Rain, I would play, you know, out in the warehouse or elsewhere on the floor to, you know, kind of if anybody's passing through, they can kind of dance and jam along to it too. There is something about Rinsler.
Oh, yeah.
That is just this kind of like groove coming through. And again, it does that really nice mix of the orchestra and the electronic, but it's just this like pulsing coming through, and it builds, and it gives me really heavy Mass Effect vibes. I've been playing through Mass Effect, the trilogy again, and something about that synth and that, I guess, like bass synth or something, but it hits all the right notes for me. And it's just, again, it builds and it hits that peak, and then it's one of those where it hits and drops and it's done. And there's that little bit of silence there where you kind of come out of that excitement and you kind of readjust and reacclimate. And it kind of shakes you up a little bit so you're ready for the next song. And there's something about that like I really dig.
And it's kind of in and out, too. That's another 218 song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. And because right after Arena, what a good song. I like that. That was in yellow. So I started off I was like, I'm going to highlight all the songs I want in red. But then I highlighted about 22 of the 22 of them in red. So I was like, well, I guess I should put some in purple. But then I had 6 in purple. And I'm like, wait. I was like, I'll do the ones I really want in yellow. But I have like 4. So I have 4 yellow. So I had this weird color coding of all my songs.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go. I think you know what I'm going to pick here. Because I'm just going to take Derez.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to my wife. We went to Sprouts to run a quick errand, and we were coming back, and we were listening to Derez, and I was like, you know what, Megan? I could just lay on the floor face first for 5 years, not move. Like, just let everything atrophy, and then come play Derez for me. I feel terrible for Megan putting up with this, but play Derez, and I will just get up like nothing happened. Like, that's what this song does to me. Like, everything will come back. It will just be muscle memory. I'll be back to normal. I won't be just a puddle on the ground anymore. But this song just gets me pumped up. I mean, it's in and out pretty quick. It's 1:44, and I know it's like one of the more popular tracks on the album, but I can't. When I hear it, I just want to pick somebody up and run around with them. I think it's a good. It hits hard. It's fun. It's a legit song. So yeah, I'm taking Derez.